All right, welcome back to another edition of Coach's Clips. We've gone through Onyeka Okongwu and RJ Hampton, and now we're jumping to our third clips of this, and we're going to do Tre Jones out of Duke. He was drafted 41st overall to the San Antonio Spurs, and we're going to see what he can do at the next level. So we're going to first look at his offense on playmaking. Here he's against Cole Anthony. Pretty simple play. I'm going to bring it back. So, like I said, he's going against Cole Anthony. We got Cassius Stanley clearing out there. Right here. So clear out. We're going to have Javin DeLaurier come up and set a flat ball screen. So a flat ball screen means he's going to have his shoulders towards the opposite baseline. And Tre Jones gets to pick what side he wants to come off that screen. Comes up. Shoulders remain parallel to the baseline. He's going to pick which direction he wants to go off of. He's going to fake one way, go the other to get Cole Anthony to jump towards the ball and get him to use the screen. So now we have Armando Bacot in a drop coverage here. Cole Anthony's going to trail, so Tre Jones is going to attack that. We have Justin Robinson here in the corner. He's going to lift up to give Tre Jones an angle on the pass. Catch, shoot. He banks it in, but he's a good three-point shooter. On this play, they're running a horn set. Like last time we talked about, horn set is just having two players kind of in these elbow and lane line extended areas with two corners filled. What they're going to do is both come up, set a high pick and roll. Tre gets the choice to go left or right. Either way, he's going to have space and shooters to attack. And what they'll do is have DeLaurier dive, Robinson lift to the top to give Tre Jones more options. One, to have a lob threat, and two, to have a shooter behind him in case they cut him off. So again, it comes off the screen. DeLaurier is going to dive. Robinson is going to stay up top. With shooters in the corner, Jack White had an off year shooting, but still remains the threat in the corner. So has Leaky Black here kind of attached to him. And then same thing opposite, Cassius Stanley, a good shooter. So Brandon Robinson's a little attached to him, leaving this entire lane completely open. So a nice touch on the pass here. Throws it up. In the NBA, that's probably a dunk from Jakob Pearl. LaMarcus Aldridge wouldn't dunk that, but he's going to finish that at the rim. So big leap from the NBA, or from college to the NBA. That kind of pass will bode well in the NBA. Able to see that ahead of time. Here's something that is really impressive, really high IQ. This is on a made basket. North Carolina just finishes it, inbounds it, and Tre catches it, doesn't take a single dribble, sees the advantage here, lobs it with perfect touch right to Cassius Stanley. Something that a lot of young players struggle to learn, and one, to have the touch on the pass, but understand when to throw that pass. Tre Jones does that really well. Here, attacks this flat ball screen, comes off with a lot of speed downhill, makes it tough for Bacot to stop this drive. Vernon Carey's coming up, set that flat. Tre Jones is going to go towards the weak side with one shooter in the corner, giving himself more space and really make a good read coming out of the screen. So they're in a drop coverage. Cole Anthony's going to trail. Bacot's going to come off flat. Try to get him to pick up the dribble, throw it to Vernon early, so Vernon has to make the play around the free throw line. but he's able to get to Bacot's top hip here, forcing him to turn a little bit and get downhill. You see Brandon Robinson come over and help. That immediately signals to Tre Jones that the corner is the pass. So Bacot gives up on the help early. Robinson sees this. I believe this is Leaky Black here. If I was him, I would leave immediately to stop the ball. Wendell Moore, I think, shot about 22% from three. So perfectly fine to leave him in the corner, stop the ball there. It's late. Brandon Robinson's coming in flying. He's got his shoulders turned towards Tre. Tre sees this, has a tight window because Garrison Brooks doesn't drop. Garrison Brooks gets stuck to that elbow here. He makes that pass to the corner. A little off target. That needs to get right on the chest, but smart play here to catch it, and one more from Jordan Goldwire to get to the better three-point shooter, Justin Robinson. He's already knocked one down in the game. Again, just incredible touch, incredible IQ right here. Off a North Carolina a miss this time. Vernon Carey sprinting the court, gets it to him early, gets a foul. Here is a great read by Cassius Stanley. Looks like Andrew Platek's guarding him here. Platek's not anywhere near the athlete Cassius Stanley is, so he's trying to make up for it by beating him to a spot. Cassius Stanley recognizes that, as does Tre. He's going to take a hard step, spin back. You saw it a lot in Dwight Howard's Orlando years. He's trying to catch up. He's working real hard to get in front of this. He's just going to fake, spin. Tre throws this pass about 40 feet right on the dime. Get an easy layup. Again, he did it all year long. Recognizes Cassius Stanley's right here, right now. He's looking at him early, before he even gets the ball. He's recognizing, do I have anything here? We have Brandon Robinson. He's their last guy back. There's one more over here. He knows Cassius Stanley is the fastest guy on the court, the most athletic, and his guy is 2 steps behind him. So he's going to catch that, throw it up, draw the foul. Really good in transition here. Gets a good steal. Pushes it. Right now, it's him and Wendell Moore against 4 Tar Heels. Yeah, Brandon Robinson, really good defender. Leaky Black, great athlete. Cole Anthony sprinting back. You got Armando Bacot coming as well. Really good job to get him to turn. You want to attack the player that's stopping ball. He attacks him really well. Gets him to turn. Good control into this Euro step right here. Getting Cole within a couple of steps. Again, Leaky Black here. Drawing all 3 defenders under control. Quick drop off as they leave their feet. Now it's an easy layup. Again, what they ran a lot was the flat ball screen. What they'll do on the 2-man side is exchange to get these guys moving. If they switch, they have to talk, try to get keep them occupied and try to get them to make a mistake communicating. Maybe get a cheap 3 out of that. On this side, Goldwire stays a little high the whole time, which is fine because Tre is going the other way. But I'd like to see him space to the corner and lift if he comes towards him. But good patience out of here. They're in drop coverage. He knows that he's not coming off hard. He sees the help down low. So he's going to get Cole Anthony on his hip, keep him here as long as he can, That way when Delorier drives, these two help defenders stay in for longer, and then it's an easy kick out to one of the corner shooters. If they don't stay in, it's a lob to Delorier. So really intelligent play here. Keeps him on his hip, keeps him occupied. Delorier's diving. Looks like they're staying. So they ended up defending it well. Good timing. He gets back. I think that's Garrison Brooks gets back in time. So he's going to attack, draw this defender, tries to get feet in the paint, gets 3 occupied. Delorier, I would have liked to see him seal Garrison Brooks to give Tre another option to throw it over top here. But draws the 2 defenders, attacks Goldwire's the defender, basically setting a screen while having the ball. Gets it out on time and on target for the jump shot. Another play in transition. This is number 4, where he's getting the ball, has head up. He's looking right now. He spots Vernon Carey right there. You got 4 defenders here trying to get back with one. Basically having 3 guys to stop. He's going to try to stop ball here while keeping close to these 2 so they don't give up a layup to let these 4 get back. But Tre's going to attack hard here. And this is a very, very tight window. Sees Cole's hands are down, so throws it high. Great pass. Pretty unique angle here that gets to see the defense a little bit better. So we're going into a side pick and roll, empty side, so no one in the corner here. Going to do a traditional pick and roll where he's turned. Going to come off that tight. He's reading these 2 defenders over here. So it looks like Leaky Black and Garrison Brooks. He's going to read those. If Brooks steps up, it's to Justin Robinson. If Leaky Black steps up, it's to Wendell Moore, or I think Cassius Stanley's over there. Just going to read that next defender. So Baycott comes out. Looks like Brooks is coming over. He's ready to throw that pass to Justin Robinson. He's looking, sees that in the corner. Good. They exchange on the opposite to bring Cassius up. Wendell setting a screen as a non-shooter. So they got 5 defenders all within the paint. Got all eyes, basically all eyes towards him. Picks it up. Wendell Moore sets that back screen so Leaky Black can't make that steal. Garrison Brooks is in the paint. He could have had a drop off to Delorier, but that's a tougher pass. Gets him in the corner, open 3. Going back to the flat ball screen. Tre liked to going to the weak side, the 1 shooter side. Allows him to dissect less defenders, give him more space to work. So Cole's wanting to push him that way. Baycott's ready for it. He's going to draw these 2 defenders. Doesn't get too deep, but doesn't not need to because Leaky Black is playing so much in help. Gets these 2 defenders on him. We got Brandon Robinson over here with Garrison Brooks. They have Delorier pretty much covered, so it's going to be hard to get that lob to him. Brooks does a really good job of bumping and still being to the shooter. So Tre sees that that's not an option. Can't get his opposite corner. Hook pass isn't worth it to get through 3 defenders there. So just makes the easy play, the right play, gets it to Cassius Stanley with Leaky Black playing so much in help. Open 3, knocks it down. Here, playing 2-man game with Vernon Carey. Really good play design. Before this, Cassius Stanley just swung it to Tre Jones. They wanted to get him on the wing attacking. Cassius is going to cut through and come to the corner. Now this is a screen and roll with one shooter. In the dribble drive offense, they talk about driving double gap and triple gap. What that means is you have four kind of sections on the court where people should be. So you got the two corners and the deep wing. Is one section on each side. You have the wing to the slot, so right here on each side. So those four spots. With Cassius clearing out, that's two gaps. So you got your first gap here, the wing to the slot area, that's one gap, and then the wing to the slot area on the other side, that's double gap. That gives them more space to attack, has the help defender have to cover more space. It makes reads a little bit easier. The way North Carolina is going to attack this or defend this is hedging and going under with Cole Anthony. Like we talked in the past, previous two, hedging is the goal is to get them to dribble towards half court. Tre's really patient with this. They hedge. He's not coming off too hard. He's letting it develop. He's looking to see who's tagging on this pick and roll here. So again, a tag is help defender is coming over to discourage the pass towards the diver on a pick and roll. So based off this section here, it looks like North Carolina defends this incorrectly with the tag. So right now, Garrison Brooks, he's guarding the high guy. Tre Jones can just take a retreat dribble in reverse to get it to Justin Robinson. It's one pass away. He shouldn't be tagging here, but he ends up tagging. If I was North Carolina, I would want Brandon Robinson tagging here. He's guarding Wendell Moore, Cash Stanley's here and Wendell Moore's here. Wendell Moore is a terrible three-point shooter, so you definitely would want him to help off, but he's also the low guy, the low man here. Who he's guarding is two passes away, so he should be the one tagging Vernon Carey here. So instead, Brooks tags here, gets him into the paint, has to recover because he sees that's an easy pass. With him vacating it and Baycott still outside the three-point area, Brandon Robinson leaving to guard Wendell Moore in the corner gives an easy pass to Vernon Carey because no one's down there. So Brooks is in the paint with him. He sees that. Baycott can't get out. Robinson's an easy pass. Brooks is just in no man's land. Cole Anthony can't get back in time to get hands in his face to discourage that pass. Here again, using the flat ball screen, attacking the single side. Really like doing that all year long. Like I said, this puts this defender in space and having to guard more area and make a decision. And whatever decision he makes, Tre's going to read that and make the right play. So we got help from, it looks like Playtech coming over here to stop ball. He's guarding Goldwire in the corner. If you go back a little bit earlier in the play, I'm not sure what Brandon Robinson is doing so high. He was guarding Goldwire. They're just switching here, even though they're exchanging, like we talked about a little bit earlier. Exchange here to keep them occupied, make them communicate. But with him being so high, that puts him out of position, especially since he's already initiated this pick and roll. He should be down by the elbow, and we'll see why in a second. So Tre's coming downhill, leaky black stain connected to Cash Stanley. Trying to get hand on a pass if he kicks it out there. But with Playtech helping, making it pretty well known, Tre can see that. It's about 15 feet away, you can see it. So he's helping. Now Tre's got to look for Brandon Robinson. If he dives and covers the skip pass to the corner, he'll just throw it up to Wendell Moore on the wing here. If he's late like he is here, that's just a quick, easy pass to the corner. So as a pick and roll handler, that you're making the read of where the help is. Essentially, these two are not relevant in the situation. He's got him beat. Cole Anthony's trailing. Brooks didn't do a great job coming off flat. So he's downhill. He's past these two defenders. He's reading these two now. So it gets into the paint here. Robinson's late. Throws it to Goldwire. There's no chance he gets a hand on this pass. But does a really good job. One more. And attack. Here's a play he has to improve on. There's some situations that would have made this an easier pass. But again, he can't make this pass. So out of the horn set, they're going to have Delorier come up. Flash out here. Just a quick give and go, get defense moving, and rather than just always setting a ball screen, give a different look to the defense. So there, Cole Anthony relaxes a little bit, so get the ball right back, essentially working the same. The results are the same as a pick and roll, just again giving a different look to the defense. This action should initiate Stanley to vacate immediately. What they'll do is they'll rotate them all over here. He vacates. Now he's attacking an empty side. Cassius is late getting out of there. And why this matters is because Leaky Black is going to stay in help side and stopping the ball earlier. If he gets out, if he gets to somewhere in this dunker spot over here, by the time Tre gets the ball back, Leaky Black's in the paint here, and now it's Brandon Robinson's help. But because he's late, Leaky Black's there, and then they basically essentially gain an additional help defender. So he's late. This action here gets these two beat. Brooks just lets him through. Cole Anthony's trying to recover. Leaky Black sees it. Really good, smart play by him just to stop. Let his player cut through and stop the ball. So stops the ball here. Lets Cole Anthony recover. So now Cassius is not only late, but he's now not an option. So they're playing. Tre can only look for 3 people. He's got Goldwire, but that's 3 defenders here. It's a really tough pass. He's got Delorier diving, but again, there's a lot of hands in here. It's very compact. What should have happened is Stanley's in the corner. Wendell Moore should rotate over to the wing slot area here behind Tre, so he has an outlet, and then that would have opened up the lane for Delorier. But none of that happened. Tre gets stuck. Again, can't make this pass. He rushes himself. Delorier's not open. Brooks got that covered. Leaky Black staying there. He's not even looking at Cassius Stanley because it's impossible to get the ball to him. And Goldwire is really the only option with Wendell Moore staying in the opposite slot. Here he tracks down an offensive rebound. The long 3 comes off hard. Tracks it down. He does a really good job of analyzing what's in front of him before he puts the ball down on the floor. I think that's something young point guards really have a hard time doing, is they put the ball down immediately and sometimes get themselves stuck with that. So gets it, evaluates what he has. Vernon Carey's diving hard. Garrison Brooks is a good 10 feet off of him. Robinson's not in true help here. So he's able to get this with a nice firm touch on it. Get that right to him. Vernon's got to go up with that immediately. Keep that high. He gets himself buried under the rim, but finishes it anyway. Here's a very common play out of in the NBA level. Again, horn set. You fill it with a big and a shooter. Again, fill the corners with shooters and just have a lob threat here. You'll likely put your best shooter in the opposite corner to discourage any help side. So Brandon Robinson's stuck here, Leaky Blacks on his shooter. We're just going to get a screen here and a dive with a lift from the shooter behind. So Tre Jones has a ton of different options here. Comes off that screen. He already knows he has Vernon Carey on this lob. He's going to take another dribble, just get him to commit a little bit more, and then it's an easy over the top play here. Again, if I was guarding this, Duke's not the best three-point shooting team, so let's take away the easiest bucket, take away the rim here, and have Brandon Robinson standing in the paint. Let Tre Jones make that pass and close out short here. So takes that dribble. Brandon Robinson's not in a good spot. Cash Stanley's smart for lifting out of the corner. If he stays in the corner, he can help more because it's a shorter distance here. If he lifts up and he's down here to help, he's got a long distance closeout here. So smart play there. Shooter up top, gets his help defender up, and finishes at the rim. So here, it's going to be a miss from North Carolina. He gets the ball, immediately looking to make a pass. Doesn't see anything. Cole Anthony's not doing anything wrong, but he's not defending well. Not high hands. So Tre Jones is looking. You can see Vernon Carey right here trying to pin his defender. He was getting guarded by Justin Pierce. He's only 6'7", about 210 pounds. So Vernon Carey's got about 50 pounds on him and 5 or 6 inches. So has a mismatch in transition here. Tre Jones recognizes that. He's looking to see how he can get the ball to him. Just goes over the top. Great job by Vernon Carey there. So just a pick and roll situation here. Stanley's clearing out. Again, they're attacking the one side rather than the two-shooter side. Duke does this especially because they don't have the best three-point shooting. So you want to attack as much space as you can. I think it's something in Tre Jones' first year they didn't do enough of. There was even worse shooting on the floor last year for him with RJ, Zion, Cam, Jack White a lot of the time, Jab and DeLaurier. A lot of pretty average to below average three-point shooters there. They didn't attack the single side enough. Here they do it basically all year long. So again, they're going to go in a drop coverage. Cole Anthony's going to trail. Garrison Brooks is going to just come off flat, push him along, try to get him to go into the sideline. Vernon Carey pops. I wish Vernon Carey dove here. Look, he's got Garrison Brooks who's committed to this double here. Armando Bacot is not in help, or is not over far enough where he can't get in front of him. So if he dives hard here, Bacot's got to play to that, and then Justin Robinson can come up to the top of the key, and then all of a sudden, whatever he does is wrong. So if he stays with the shooter, you got to dunk. If he drops down with Vernon Carey, they're going to scramble to recover. Justin Robinson's got a three at the top. But Vernon Carey stays, Justin Robinson stays. Tre can't pick up his dribble leaning towards the sideline and make a cross lane pass. So anytime you're under pressure, young players especially never make a pass that crosses the lane or the mid-court line here. It's a very dangerous pass. It's going to get picked off at the NBA level every single time. So he should throw it to Vernon here if they don't want to have the dive and fill action here. But gets it to him. Hits a big three. So we looked at him as a playmaker. Now let's kind of look at him on the offensive scoring side. Him with the ball attacking. So very early in the game, he gets a one-on-one with Cole Anthony. Just the opening play was to try to get Delorier on the block, just to occupy them. Doesn't have it there, so swings it back. Cole Anthony closes out a little far to Tre's right. He recognizes that. He's leaning hard on that leg. Gives him a hard jab to get him to come back. And then it's attacks with that right. Robinson needs to clear out to the corner here to get that help defender lower. But stays there, ends up getting help from the elbow here. So sees that, lifts up like he's going to pull up for a jumper, gives it slight hesitation. Does that to get Cole Anthony to lift a little bit. He lifts so he can attack that top hip over here and get to his left side. So Cole gets his hips flipped. Now Tre's got a little bit of advantage here. Gets downhill. Leaky Black's not in great health. Then like to see him take one more dribble. Try to get to the rim. But draws the foul. Here they run the flat ball screen. He comes off going left, gets a switch. Cole Anthony gets pinned on Delorier. Delorier has to do a much better job of holding him there, walking Cole Anthony down the lane so he can give him the ball and finish at the rim. He just has to seal him here. But doesn't put up much of an effort. Tre's got to be more patient here. You have the switch, you don't have to attack immediately. See if Delorier can get that seal. He has window more here. Again, needs the space to the corner so a help defender isn't here so early. Helps there in the corner. If Wendell sees his defender right now staring at the ball, that's an automatic backdoor cut. Especially with Delorier opposite, you got this whole lane right here. Make that backdoor cut. Instead, Tre pulls up for an elbow jumper. That's a fine jumper. He can knock that down. Ends up missing it, but I'm fine with that. So here, Delorier fakes like he's going to come set that screen. I think he slips too early. Slipping a screen is going to set a screen and then falling out of it and cutting hard to the rim. He doesn't slip. He doesn't get close enough to really impact. Baycott's in drop coverage, so he's already low. If you're going to slip this screen, you got to get a little bit closer. So just cuts back. Tre does a good job of getting on top of that hip, getting to that advantage. He's in a really good spot here, attacking the two sides, so that help side's here. He's reading that. If he can get by him, it's to the rim. If he can't, that's a kick out to Jack White. So gets him on his back here. Garrison Brooks is dropping in. He's able to pick it up over the top, get around him. Here, like to see Delorier take a half a step back, so it's more of a passing angle here. That should be a drop off there. This pass is not there. Leaky Black's in good spot right now. And throwing that to Jack White's a tough pass. Cassius has got to be in the corner ready for this. So gets a 1-2 here. Again, should be a drop off here. That corner pass is now a little bit more open with Leaky stepping in. Instead decides to go up with it. Gets a shot blocked. But it's a really good drive, getting Cole on his hip. I just think it should have been more of a drop off to the big. Here just does a good job outrunning everybody. He's in it with everybody here. Sees that rebound, sprints the floor, spaces it well, just finishes. This is a really good play by Tre, coming up to set that flat screen. Cole's playing like they did basically all game long, forcing him to the left side, into the drop coverage. Tre gives him a little jab step in and out to get him to lean up top. I think he's attacking that side. Gets him basically on his side so he can use that screen better. So he jumps up to his top foot. Now Tre's going to come off hip to hip. He's going to fake the snake. So again, snaking a screen is going around it, coming back in and through this side. Instead, he throws another in and out. Gets Brooks to have a big lunge step here, opening up that side again to the left. Brooks straight legged, leaning hard on his left foot. Tre's already has him beat here. He's going to attack that hip, get real close. We got Brandon Robinson in here late. Again, I think Play Tech stepping in. Or no, it looks like Justin Pierce. He stunts at him, trying to get back to, I think it's Joey Baker. Now the rim's open. Looks like Garrison Brooks hits him on the wrist. But Tre needs to finish this. Otherwise, really impressive coming off that screen, faking that snake. Drawing the foul. Here, same thing, rejects the screen, gets Cole on his foot, draws 3 defenders. I think if he comes into a jump stop here, he can kick to either Cassius in the corner or getting it up to Goldwire on the wing, where you can either catch and shoot or move it one more to the corner. But does a good job of having Brandon Robinson late. I believe that's Brandon Robinson. He comes over late, draws the block, gets to the free throw line. Duke's offense isn't revolutionary. You'll see a lot of the same thing over and over again because it's effective. So again, come to that horn set the ball screen. Vernon's going to dive. We're going to have a lift up to the top of the key. You got your shooters in the corner. Cole was really trying to push him towards the shooter side. That way you can't get the effective dive from Vernon Carey. Comes off anyway, gets him on his back. Brooks is staying more tighter to Vernon Carey to stop that lob threat. Leaky Black's going to come over more and help. But again, just really good at drawing contact, making it tough. He's 6'3", so has good size, strong, but really effective with his footwork, and able to keep the ball away from the defender, draw the foul, get to the free throw line. Now looking more at his jump shot, where people have concerns with him. So here, just a simple slot drive. Gets feet in the paint, kicks it out, relocates. Good job there. 1-2 on the catch, so left, right. Steps with his left foot first, right foot next. Does a good job getting feet under him on the balls of his feet. Good job going up. Good 90-degree angle here. Good wrist flexion. Everything looks good. Just short. When you see guys miss, if you see him miss left or right, should be more concerned. But he missed short. That's just getting more reps in. Here, Goldwire drives baseline. Baycott helps. He just relocates to the corner, drifts down to the corner, gives him Goldwire an option. So anytime you see someone drive baseline, what ideally you'd want is a big in the middle here. If they're in the dunker spot, they'll lift up to the middle, so it's an easy bounce pass here for a finish at the rim. They lift up here, shooter fills the corner, and then you have ideally you would have someone on the wing here filling that as well, with someone following. So if you get stuck, if they trap you here, you can turn around. You have an outlet there. So Duke does a really good job of that. Cole Anthony knows this. Every college player knows this. You got to help the helper. So help side comes down. Brooks is covering the big. Cole Anthony's helping the helper. But Goldwire does a really good job getting the ball to him. Again, Tre under control, feet under him. Good extension, finishes that one. Here, a lot of confidence in his jump shot right here. Gets the rebound. Pushes, looking for something. It's a tough pass to Vernon. Carey right there. Yeah, Brandon Robinson is a really good athlete. Hard to get that over the top. Not worth it to get it to Goldwire here. He's not going to do anything Tre's not going to do. And he's spacing to the corner. He's reading it. Doesn't have another guy filling the wing here. No trailer. So this is a good read to take the shot. Comes into it 1-2, left, right. Good job getting on balance, going straight up and down. Good extension, finishes that. Here's where he'll see a lot of his three-point looks next year with San Antonio. Off drive and kick. So it gets to the Justin Robinson. He's more of a walk into his shot. There's people who hop. There's 1-2. He walks into it, so left, right. He uses very minimal legs. Not a huge jumper on his jump shot. Just gets off the floor. Everything looks good here. Good extension. It's got what people call a gooseneck when you flick your wrist. Have a straight arm. Good extension there. Again, just rims out a little short. Here's where he'll have to work more on his game. I think he can become a better pull-up shooter, mid-range shooter. Comes off that screen here. Cole's trying to dive hard underneath. Helps late. This is where I think a lot of NBA players need to improve, especially this age, where mid-range is kind of frowned upon. If you see a defender this far off, your defender trailing, this is the jump shot you need to perfect and become really a 50-60% shooter from here. So good job getting feet under. Right here, goes up straight down, tries to draw contact with his foot, doesn't get it. And again here, confidence in his shot, pulling up from three in transition, gets it, pushes it. Cassius is spacing out to the wing. He makes up his mind right here. It's a 2-on-2. That's fine. But I think he comes in it too fast. Really tries to stop behind that line. Now he's not straight up and down. He's got that little curve. He's moving forward. So he's going to put less on it, thinking he's got too much power going into it, come up short. Here he steps in this and just lets it fly. Again, this is where he's going to get a lot in San Antonio off the driving kick. They move the ball a ton. So he needs to be able to knock this three down. Stanley does a good job of getting it on time and on target. He gets his legs into it, shoots it with confidence, it just puts it in. Really good shot right there. Here again, that mid-ranger off the bounce. Good patience. Steps back. Probably not the best shot here. That's probably a kick. Again, I can't see who this is right now, but they should be in the corner, so you don't have two defenders right next to each other. I'd like to see a hesitation crossover to try to get back to the paint. But this is a tough shot. Everything on this form looks fine. It's just a tough shot. Got hand in his face. Got a big in on him. It's going to be tough to knock down, but a place he needs to improve. It's mid-range. Now probably his best trait is his defense. Really made it tough on Cole Anthony all night. Here, a lot of pick and roll for Cole Anthony. He's going to go left. Tre just goes underneath. Cole's a 35%, 36% three-point shooter. So that's good, but Cole likes to get to the rim. And since Delorier is such a good active defender, he knows he can go underneath in this drop coverage. He's going to go back over it, re-screen, just force him to help. Delorier, again, active defender, so gets that steal. Here, isolating Tre, he's on an island out here by himself. Cole's a legit NBA guard. Hesitation cross right there. Doesn't panic, doesn't put his hand immediately on his hip. Just lunges with him, beats him to the spot. This is what I don't like on the defense, is he's contesting with the left and then switches to the right. Just needs to contest this all the way with his left hand. Whenever you're guarding a right-handed shooter, you have to contest with your left. If you're guarding a left-handed shooter, contest with your right. It's a tough shot, but good defense otherwise. All right, so on this play, we'll go back here. Cole Anthony's coming off the screen and right into the offense as he crosses half court. A series of moves. Like I said, he's a legit NBA guard. I have real success at the next level. Tre Jones here cuts off that drive, hits him with the between spin, which is a tough move. Tre defends it well. He has help from Cassius standing in the corner. Looks like a Playtech is in the corner, one of their better shooters. He knows Vernon Carey here is in help under the rim. And so he's going to push him down. Cassius stays tied to the shooter, so he's going to push him into the help. What he does really well here, and what you'll see in the next level, is his hands when they bring the ball low. Swipes at it here. Don't call a foul. Probably a foul on his wrist, but they got to end up calling the charge. So great job Vernon Carey stepping in, but Tre, good job keeping him contained enough for help to be there in time. Going against Jeremiah Francis here. Not a huge offensive threat. It's just a big guard. Kind of get the ball into the offense. But as you can see, Tre knows the scattering report. He's not the best ball handler. He's not the quickest to get around somebody. So he's going to pressure him. Come over to set the screen. There's space. Francis doesn't come hip to hip on that screen, so he's able to get over and allow Vernon to get right back to Justin Pierce, it looks like. Or not Justin Pierce, but allows Tre to get back really easily. Makes it really hard on Francis. Can't find anything because Tre's harassing him. He's got to constantly be moving. Ends up getting a foul called there, but love the intensity there. Here again, matched up one-on-one with Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony's going to drive the single shooter side. Spacing is kind of crowded on the other side. Doesn't allow for a ton of help. We got attached to shooters over here. Vernon Carey's in the middle. They're running looks like a staggered back screen. And so that occupies Vernon Carey for help. So it's really Tre Jones on an island with Jordan Goldwire in the corner. Or it looks like Justin Robinson. So Robinson digs, but doesn't really attempt too much. Tre does a good job of staying on his hip, but Cole Anthony's got the step on him. Swipes over the top, doesn't foul. It's a tough bucket. Now looking at him more off the ball. So Cole Anthony's deep in the paint. It's in a really tough spot. Tre Jones is reading it. He's down here covering down on Baycott. So discouraging that pass, allowing Cole Anthony not to make that pass. Leaky Black's covered here with Garrison Brooks behind. So Tre Jones is really guarding two here. He's going to read the pass. Sees that Vernon Carey can recover. Wendell Moore has that pass covered as well. Be a really hard wraparound bounce pass there in traffic. So Tre starts to leave him. Sees the eyes. He's throwing it to Brandon Robinson. This is where Goldwire should be. He got ball watching, lost where Robinson was. Tries to leap and make the steal, but Tre Jones is able to make up that ground, tip it. North Carolina gets it back, but it's plays like those that go up, not on the spread or box score, but really make winning plays. Here was a loose ball. Duke tries to save it here. Stanley throws it. Something you never do is save it under your own basket unless you have an easy pass. Doesn't have an easy pass here. Saves it, ends up going right to Garrison Brooks. Tre, his high IQ recognizes this immediately, is able to get back into the picture. Garrison's going up strong, got shoulders turned, wanting to absorb contact if Tre comes over the top. But Tre does a really good job of going behind, swiping, get a finger on that ball, make it tough for him. Tre Jones is down here covering Cole Anthony. So we see here, ball's opposite. A pin down screen is coming here from Brooks. He's just going to set the screen right here. The tricky thing with this screen, especially with action with Leaky Black going out here and no one really in the paint, is it's either easy to get on his top side and Cole Anthony run up to the screen and just go backdoor. It's a common action in the Princeton offense, although North Carolina doesn't run that Princeton offense. This is an action out of it. He comes up to that screen. So it's easy to get to that top side and have him just go backdoor. And if you trail, it's easy to come off that and curl. So it's a tough action to guard, especially when there's no help side. So as Tre, he locks in with him, gets to that bottom hip so he can't go backdoor. But again, gets small. We talked about that with RJ Hampton last time. Gets small around Garrison Brooks' hip. Able to get over top, not lose really any ground. Vernon Carey does a good job of keeping this tight with Brooks. Oftentimes, you'll see bigs come way out on this curl screen, and once they come way out, it's just a pocket pass to the big for a dunk. So Vernon Carey does a good job staying tight. Really trust Tre Jones to get back here, but also discouraging the drive to the rim. So Tre did a good job of getting to his hip. Cole Anthony goes into a floater. Again, I would like to see Tre contest this with his left hand, but I understand why he's doing it with the right here. Doesn't want to clip his elbow and send him to the free throw line on a tough shot. So tries to contest without touching. Ends up doing a really good job in forcing a tough shot. Defensively, there's a lot more clips that we can show. I kind of wanted to show the areas where he has to improve on the defensive end, even though there's very few areas there. He's just going to be a guy that's going to come in San Antonio, likely be a backup point guard to DeJounte Murray, take playmaking responsibilities off of Derek White, something he's not entirely comfortable doing, and he's able to kind of slot right in and fit in next to Lonnie Walker and Keldon Johnson coming off the bench. And I think it's a really special lineup right there. A lot of athleticism, a lot of really good defensive abilities there, and something that, as a Spurs fan, you should be really excited about their backcourt. He should come in and make an immediate impact. But yeah, that's Tre Jones. I really think it's one of the biggest steals of the draft, and I think he'll show that pretty early in his career. But stay with us. We're going to be posting these pretty often. Next one's going to come up in the next day or two. So just send us your requests, and we'll certainly look at it. But like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think.